I had someone comment and ask, they wanted to know the expenses of running a tree service. And I mean, I can give you guys my, kind of breakdown on, what I pay right now. But obviously, when I first started, I only had a pickup truck, climbing gear, and a couple saws. So obviously, I had basically no overhead at that time. My expenses were nothing because everything was paid off. The truck was paid off and all that. But yeah, let me kind of go into it. So for my tree business, with one, two, three trucks insured, all my equipment is insured, and with $9 million liability, I pay around $700 a month. So $700 a month for all my insurance. I pay. I also pay like $800 a month for life insurance because, I feel like that's important to have. If I do die on the job, then Christina and my son will be they'll be well off without me. I hope that never happens, but at the same time, I pay that just because I wouldn't want to leave them with you know bills and mortgage to pay for. So yeah, I pay life insurance, just in case. But yeah, hope I never have to use it. Okay, so for this chip truck right here, I paid $40,000 for it. It has full aluminum box, which is amazing. So you obviously don't need this truck to start a tree company. Most of the stuff I'm going to show you, you don't need unless you want to scale up a little bit and take on bigger jobs and stuff like that. So I paid $40,000 for this. Turn around here, my spider lift. So this is my baby. I bought it brand new in 2019. I paid $142,000 for it. I did end up buying the lift in cash because at that time, my bank was just giving me like the whole runaround on getting financing for it. So I had the money to pay for it. So I paid cash for it. So I never had any payments on it. So I don't know what payments on this thing would be like, but I imagine they'd be, fairly high, like a couple grand at least a month if you're going that route. But yeah, that's what I paid, and I bought it in full. The trailer that it's on is a tilt trailer. It's a 22-foot tilt, and I paid $14,000 for that. Also paid that in full. So, that year, 2019, was pretty rough on me because I spent $14,000 on the trailer and $142,000 on the lift itself. So, yeah, it was a bit of a crazy year. This chipper right here, I paid $60,000 for it. I bought it used. I had a Morbark before that. That was brand new, but it was only a 12-inch. This chipper is 15-inch, so I like it a lot better. We can chip very big stuff compared to the 12-inch chipper. This truck right here, I no longer have payments on, but it's a 2021 F350. When I purchased it, I did do payments on it, but I put $35,000 down on the truck, and then my payments were down to, I believe it was around $1,000 a month, and can't remember if it was on a 4-year term or 5-year term, but anyways, it's paid off. I got it for $82,000 plus tax, which was a pretty crazy deal because when I picked it up after I ordered it, it was already worth well over $100,000 because of all the stuff that went on during COVID. This is my 16-foot galvanized dump trailer. I bought that brand new 2 years ago, and it's mainly, just for hauling big logs. But yeah, paid $16,000 for that. I like the trailer. It has a flat tire right now, which I have to fix. But here's my stump grinder. This is the Vermeer SC372. I really like this stump grinder. It works amazing. Before this stump grinder, I had the SC35, I believe it's called. I don't know. It was a little track unit. It was amazing too. It was actually the first piece of equipment that I ever bought. It sounds crazy that a stump grinder was the very first thing I bought. Well, other than my climbing gear and a couple saws, but For me, I was still working for another company, so I did stumps on the side, which I made, very good money with. So right here, we got brand new. It's a 2024 F-150. Waving to the neighbors. Okay, so this isn't needed for a tree company, but I bought this, wood splitter because I split wood. I don't sell wood yet. I'm probably going to start selling wood this winter because I have a lot left over. And yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm going to be selling seasoned wood and not green wood at all. So the Easton Made, I paid $9,000 for this. The other one that I had before this, I paid $12,000 for it. It was brand new, and I bought this one for 9,000, and I sold my other one for 10.5. So I ended up, getting a little bit ahead on this one. It's a little bit older machine, but it's amazing. Obviously, the Durette V1000. You guys know what I paid for this. I paid $27,000 with every attachment. I have a lot of attachments: log grapple, forestry mulcher, Harley rake. I have the pallet forks, the land leveler, the auger, have the extra weights on the back. And then here I paid $40,000 for this loader. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very good deal to me after, buying the Durette, and I like the Durette better already. So yeah, for me, the loader is something I probably will sell in the future. I'm not sure yet because it is pretty handy around the house still, and it's a little quicker for, moving and plowing snow than the Durette is, but I think I probably will sell it. So and then, obviously another thing is my sawmill that I bought. You definitely don't need this for a tree company, and it's just something that if you own a tree business that you can get down the road, because if you have space to keep the logs and stuff like that, it's just another avenue that you can make money. So for me, buying the mill, I can use the lumber to do projects with. My wife likes to do woodworking, so to me it just made sense. Okay, so a little bit more about my monthly bills type thing. So my phone bill is $160. That's two phone lines. That probably sounds like a lot. Here in Canada, we pay a crap load for our phone bills and our internet and all that stuff. In the States, I'm sure it's a hell of a lot cheaper than this. So one of the biggest expenses when operating a tree service and having, a fair amount of equipment is your fuel. So mainly diesel, but on average, looking around, when we're working, $800 a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, usually more. But on average, I would say we spend about $800 a week in fuel. So for my climbing gear, when I bought it, I think I spent around $2,000. That was my harness, my spurs, my ropes. I still climb on the harness that I bought originally. I love it. I know there is, a lot more expensive harnesses and stuff like that, but I love mine. I wouldn't trade it. I'm comfortable in it. So climbing in my old, Buckingham harness is the way I go. I also climb on very cheap, like Hydro One spurs. So another expense that, we have with the business is I have a software that I use on my phone, my iPad, or computer that I do all my invoicing and estimates, and it keeps track of, basically all the money I make. It will set reminders to tell me, when there's an outstanding invoice that hasn't been paid. It'll send out emails to the clients to let them know that their payment is due. So for me, having a software like that I pay for, it's great. It keeps everything neat, organized. Having payroll with your employees, it just makes it a lot easier. So other than all my big equipment, I have quite a few saws now. I wrote a small list down. I always carry two top handles, 201s still. All my saws are now still. I had a couple Huskies, but I love my Stihl chainsaws, so that's all I use and that's all I stick with now. But yeah, I always carry two 201s because if a 201, your top handle goes down, it's just nice to have a second one in the truck just in case. So I have a 461, I have two 440s, I have a 661, I have a 261, I have two 261s, and I also have pole saws, hedge trimmers, and lots of miscellaneous tools that we use. So I would estimate the value, in and around like 10 to 12K for saws. But like I said, if you're starting a tree company, you should be able to get away with mainly, you know, two saws, maybe three. I also have the 500i now, which I probably will make a video about because that saw is amazing, and I might actually sell a bunch of my other saws and just buy a couple more 500i's because if you're looking to buy a chainsaw, the 500i, it can run, a 36-inch bar all the way down to an 18-inch bar, no problem. And the thing just has so much power and it's easy to start every time. So when you have a business, you want to, always, invest back in the company, but also always have like a safekeeping of money for repairs because I would say on any given year, I'm in and around, ten to $20,000 on repairs, depending on what goes down and what happens. Things like this happen, and when you're running diesel trucks and diesel equipment, every repair is going to be in the thousands every time. So yeah, guys, if you're thinking about starting a business or getting into the tree industry, you think you're ready for it, just know that you're going to make a lot of money, but you also have to, save money, keep money in the account. I see so many businesses where they start up and, the first 2 years, they're making, pretty good money and they don't pay their taxes. Next thing CRA or, whatever it is in the States, here it's the, Canadian Revenue Agency, they'll come right into your account. And the next thing you know, you'll go to buy a chocolate bar at the store and you won't have a penny in your bank account. I've seen it happen way too many times where people don't pay their taxes and they don't do things properly. If you're going to start a business, do it properly. Do proper invoices and try to stay away from doing cash jobs as much as possible because the first year I started my business, I guess I was red flagged because my business did so well for the very first year, and I was audited, which was kind of scary. But at the same time, I knew I did everything right. I had all my invoices, I had all my receipts and bills, all in place for them to see. But it still took like 8 months for them to clear me. And yeah, shortly after that, I think it was like 2, 3 years after that, once again, my business was growing. I was making more money and they audited me again. So yeah, once you get audited, yeah, you're kind of always on their radar for a while. Don't like having payments. I see so many companies buy, and they're just buying it under the bank's money. So it looks like they're very successful, but they don't actually own anything. And, the way the economy's going, if crap hits the fan, those companies will lose everything. So, yeah, stay small and just slowly work up, and you'll be all right. So yeah, that's a quick breakdown on, the things that I pay for, what it costs to run my tree business. And like I said before, you start small, you're not going to have that kind of overhead. So you guys know what I spend, but you're probably curious a little bit on like how much a tree company can make. I would say when you first start out small, you should still be able to make, minimum around $800 a day doing the tree service. If you're making less than that, then I think you're probably either doing like super small jobs or you're just not quoting your jobs properly. My two most profitable days were back to back during or after a windstorm here. And so a bigger company already quoted this job and they were taking forever to do it. So I was called by the company to come in and do the job, and I asked the price. I matched the price, and we banged it out in 2 days. So we did $16,000 the first day, and we did $18,000 the second day. So those were my two biggest days in the tree business. And that month, we did over $120,000. So that was also my biggest month. But you can't expect that when storms come along. You definitely always do your best to help people out and not gouge them. But a lot of the jobs are through insurance companies and stuff like that. So the prices are always going to be a lot higher on those jobs. So the past couple of years, I would say my average when working, you have to realize that we are seasonal. We usually work around 8 or 9 months out of the year, and then it slows right down basically to nothing. We'll do the odd job here and there, or if there's an ice storm, then obviously we'll be busy all year round, but that hasn't happened in a while. So on average, I would say we pull in around $10,000 a week or $40,000 a month, which is, fairly good for a smaller company like mine. I do have the spider lift, which makes, jobs a lot faster. I have a lot of, friends with bigger tree companies than me and friends with smaller tree companies than me. And they make, some make a lot more than me. And the other guys will, maybe make $1,000 a day, which is still pretty good because they have less overhead than me. Business is kind of like a balancing act. If you got the jobs and the work is there, then I would definitely say, buy equipment. For me, every time I've bought a piece of equipment, the jobs have just followed. So I don't know if I'm just lucky that way or, what's going on, but I always seem to buy something and the jobs for that piece of equipment follow, shortly after. So I've never had a problem with making money with new equipment. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you can, hit that sub button because we're getting really, really close to the 1,000 mark. We're almost at the 4,000 view hours. So I honestly thought that hitting 1,000 subs would be faster than the 4,000 view hours based on, videos that I've watched on YouTube and stuff like that. They say getting the 1,000 subscribers is a lot easier than the view time. But so far, it's been the opposite for me. But I cannot complain because I don't know. I've been doing this for maybe like 3 months, and yeah, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys all. Peace.